Hello everyone, I'm silentdeth, and welcome to my Let's Play of Space Engineers, Episode 11. Last episode, we built our sexy solar circle that you can see over there, and our power igloo. Managed to complete 2 of the solar sections, the solar panels. But, we ran out of resources. We can't mine anymore, as we ground down our connectors. So today, we are going to build a nice little landing pad area and a garage to build new things. And as the last episode was episode 10, it has been uploaded to the workshop. You can hop over there and download this world as it is right now. And there will be another upload on episode 20. But first, let's get building. As usual, I've done some designing in creative mode. But we need to figure out where everything is going to go. Just turn off. Okay, there, that's not what I wanted. This is our CIC igloo. And we want to have this attached to, I guess, our garage and probably our landing area. We're going to be spending most of our time here. It's going to have all the various LCDs and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll be spending most of our time here. It is a CIC Command Information Center, so it'll have all our information, our command programs, things of that nature. At least I expect we'll be spending most of our time here, so we want to make things easy to get from here. So what we'll do is we'll just see how big this footprint is by placing the blocks along with this perimeter. And then we can start figuring out how we want to put the other stuff. We have it outlined. A little bit of a problem. Here's the floor level for the rest of our structure. But as you can see, the block drops down in that direction. But in this direction, it keeps at this level. So we have about a 1 high gap coming out the tunnel, as this will be the floor here, and this is where the tunnel needs to go. So what we'll do is inside, I think we're just going to put some probably 3 long ramps going down into this. I think that'll probably be the best way we could pull that off. It'll also leave us with a little bit of extra space to work the connectors without having to use those platform things. I think that'll be best overall. So we'll just go ahead and lay this out a little bit, the floor at least. The center of the floor. I'm going to get that projector set up, as this tunnel is going to go a little bit longer. And how long is going to be determined by the size of our landing pads. Because we're going to want the garage right here. Then we'll have a strip running this way. Just a heavy armor pathway, I think. Then on either side of that, we'll have a landing pad branching off. So our landing pad would be this one, I think. Pretty large. And then this is where it's going to connect the walkway with a little connector that runs down here into the center. And some landing lights. We have ramps on the other 3 sides so that rovers can get up and down. I thought about putting it right here so that this ramp lines up with this. However, this is an even number of blocks wide and this is an odd number of blocks wide. So no, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that at all. And I think this looks fairly well centered where it is. Might want to move it back a little bit further, though we're going to be getting overlapping our mining stuff if we go too far over. Might be good. How far is it going into the ground? Not very much. No, it seems pretty well level. Alright. I think, yeah, we'll end up putting it here. And what we'll do is we'll put the other one. We'll mate these 2 ends without the ramps so that they're kind of a long repeating thing. I think we'll leave the ramp here. We might just have... No, we definitely need a walkway. We have to have the walkway to put the tubing. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to do the walkway, as we need the tubing, but we need something big enough to support larger vehicles. Let's look at the garage. It's big, it's hard to see like this. It looks better once it's finished. But there's connectors on the corners here. So we'll want the tunnel to come in. I'm thinking, yeah, we'll make this go one further over. That's probably the forward offset. No. Alright, that's about lined up. Then we'll need to set this up so that this runs in the center. Okay, so this was horizontal one. $32. And that rotor right there is in the center. Projector. Wrong projector. Forward one. Now we need to decide how big of a walkway we want, so that this can be in the center. It'll be large blocks. Maybe 7 wide. I think this is something like 20-ish, 20-something wide. So what if we did 11? That's a lot of blocks though. I don't think I have that much still. Yeah, we can upgrade it later. Let's do 11. So we'll start here. Let's go new station. Okay, there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So So if we line up the rotor with this, which it looks like it's only one off. Platform. $38 then. Yes. That is right on that. Go back to where you were. And that'll be where the garage is. So we'll need tunnels that come out to here, and we'll have this narrow down to 10. I think. You might need to go down one. Yeah, I think you do need to go down one. Projector number 4. As long as we can still place blocks, that'll work. As long as it's even with this, it'll also work. We'll have to check that. It might need to go up one more. I'm not sure. Or it might just have another ramp down. Okay, I'm going to weld out the tunnel going this way and see how that lines up with this. And if it works, probably do something with this. Does look like this needs to go down one more. Okay, we'll drop that one down one more. We'll be fine. And then we can get everything set up and I shall return. Millions of iron later. Seriously, millions of iron later. I have been mining and welding for 3 days. Real life days, not game days. I have forgotten just how expensive heavy armor is. Oh, and there's some metal right here. From somewhere. I'll take that. But here are the landing pads in their full camo glory. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the camo. So why don't we change that? That looks so much better. The mod collection now has 3 different mods that remove armor, the edges from the armor. We have the one I was using, which removes edges. The heavy armor has camo, and the heavy armor is just steel plates, no metal grids. The one I'm using now is the second one, where we have no camo on the heavy armor, and the heavy armor requires metal grids. The third one is the heavy armor has no camo and no metal grids. I'm not sure how I feel about the metal grids thing. Probably the big thing there is that cobalt, which I believe is what is required to make metal grids, requires a hell of a lot longer to smelt than iron. I may change it, I may not. I've also done a few things with sensors. That on. There we go. If we come over here. So we got landing lights. They trigger when you get in range of the sensor, which is basically 50 meters straight over the landing pad. Then if we go out, they turn off. There's a second sensor. To land a little bit. We've also used up all of our ice. We had more than 2 million ice, and we used it all up just flying this around and welding things. This has been a really long thing. But the second sensor triggers on the player when it detects a player, so when you hop out of the ship, it'll turn off the landing lights. That's basically how that works. Now, I'm playing at night, or showing you this at night, because I want to do a few little things with the lighting. I think we need some lights along this little strip here. And I'm thinking these lovely corner lights would be just awesome for that. So, just straight along both sides, and we'll leave gaps here, everywhere it turns off. As you can see, our landing pads have ramps that allow us to get down using wheeled vehicles. And another ramp right here so that we can just drive straight into our garage back here. I'll show the garage off when it is daylight because you can't really see it in the dark. But that is just a wonderful view there. That looks so much better. Much, much better. A nice little bit of light. Over here, I think, wait for it to load. It looks like the trees or something might regrow, or they spawn randomly or something, because they're spawning inside of my blocks. That is not good. Just kind of connect this over here. Here, I think we're going to use the platform connectors. And there too. Just to make it look better. We'll probably come back to our garage next episode. I don't think we're going to get to it this episode. But if we cut down through here. So we already have platform connectors going that way. So we just need to hook it up here. Which bar was that on? There they are. So this one, because they're facing sideways there, that'll go that way, and we'll put another one here going this way, but apparently we require girders. And then we'll have a set here, and another set of these curved blocks coming down. But I guess we're not going to do that right now. I can finish that off camera. And we'll have to connect them over this way. But we should be low enough that we can run it underneath the floor. Now we're going to customize the landing pads for each craft. Let's offload some of this stuff. That should do. A little bit of hydrogen there. First, I think we'll do the hydrogen welder. There's a bug in the game when we dock or undock this. Usually when we dock this, it causes this to sort of undock. Actually, it slips, falls to the ground there, and smacks into the ground. But it still is considered docked. These are still green. We can still access the inventory of the station. A little bit weird. A lot weird. I don't know what's going on there. And I don't like it. So we'll build that thing first. How many blocks are you? 5, 6, 7, 8. Say maybe 5 blocks. 5 of the big blocks. I think we'll just want the connector sort of in the middle. I guess we can move it over this way and then have the connector. Do I have what I need on my hotbar? I would like some hinges. So I'll put one hinge here, have it come over. And then have a second hinge so that we can have adjustable height. So that'll make that 2 blocks high. And 1 block over. So that would need to go right here, I think. No, right here. Okay, we'll cut this out and place these. Now, we just need to figure out the limits for our hinges. That's what they're called. Let's say 45 degrees. Firm. And you should be, I think, in negative 45. Firm. If we go one there. And then I think you should be negative, right? No. Yes, no? No, because I'm doing it differently. Right. Right. Of course. That would keep it up, but I want to have it go over. So you just go ahead and go to 45. And that will be probably our starting position. Maybe. Might want to go a little bit higher. It does jerk a little bit when it first locks. So yeah, let's go a little bit higher. What we could do is just do it really simple. And have this one be straight up. But no, we want them to be the same, I think. So we'll say... I think, yeah, we want it to be straight up. That should be here. We'll leave that like that. And you, upper limit of 90, lower limit of 0 probably. But we'll change that. Alright, that is docking initially. Now we need to see how far down it needs to go. Had inertial dampeners off. That's not good. Come on. Lock. Go. Turn inertial dampeners off. It doesn't need to adjust very much, does it? A little bit of bobby there. Alright. Background keeps changing. It does not want to remember my options. And that'll be easier. So hinge. Now I want this to go forward while the other one goes up the same amount. So let's try. Upper limit. Yeah, we'll change your upper limit to no, your lower limit to 45. And then we'll reverse both of them. Okay, that's not right. Reverse. Just trying. Should just set it right down on there. Okay, it needs to go a little bit lower. So you're at 42. Let's try 30. There, and that means 45. Needs to go forward more. 55. 60. 60 is what I want. Might need to redock. That or is too low. Is it crooked or is it too low? I think it's too low. Alright, let me fiddle with this for a little bit. Looks like 3366 was the winning numbers, or was it 3360? It was 3360, that's what it was. Over here, we have the atmospheric miner, and it also needs its own little custom docking thing. It needs to lay down on its back so that this, like this, but these stick down below the landing gear. So it's going to need its own kind of little cradle thing. It has to dock facing this way because it cannot hover facing this way, as it only has 3 engines on that side. When it's fully loaded, it cannot hover that way. So it'll have to dock this way and then lean back and come to a rest. So we're going to use a combination of hinges and pistons, I think, to get it off the ground high enough. And I'll be back in a moment. And that is our atmospheric miner landing pad. Pretty cool. Very convenient. If we fly over here, see, we just have a hinge and a piston. And it kind of fits right in there. Not too bad. Now there's still one more thing we need to do for these. Obviously we don't want to be switching these back and forth every time we land and take off. At least not manually. What we want to happen instead is for them to trigger automatically when we dock. We want that to automatically lay down. We want that one to automatically go lower. And when we undock, we want them to go back to the upward position and wait for us to dock again. We want all that to happen automatically every single time we dock or undock. However, we are out of time for this episode. Quite out of time, both and the episode's too long, and I have to get this uploaded tonight. So, we're going to end this episode here, and next episode, we're going to come back. We will look at the garage and finish it up. And we will figure out how to make these automatically trigger. And a quick view of the garage as it's now daylight. Our first little bit of color here, with the little blue ridges there. It's pretty large. I deviated from the igloo shapes because the igloo just did not fit very well. It would have been much too large for the amount of space that I wanted. So this is what we ended up with. But that's going to be it for this episode. Like if you like. Subscribe if you're not. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. I do read all the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.